Well, I figured it was about time I come back and update on the diesel situation. We're in a new garage at the rental house, and it's not a very big one at all. This is a regular cab short bed S10, and it barely fits. Like that the hitch is like touching the door. And you can see I got a bunch of parts all laid out. Got a dash over there. All that's getting close to being okay. Need to find my clutch position sensor. I think I left it back at the old shop. But got all the other parts. This is the old wiring harness. Came out of this beauty when it had a 2.8. And the old one out of the 85 with the diesel one. You can see the controller for the diesel there and all the. It's all wired in and just about ready to go. I got to figure a couple more things out, like some lighting things and some issues with ignition wires and whatnot. But here she is. We got her swapped in. Should have done some videos on it, but I failed to. Got everything mounted. I'm a little not too terribly happy with where the fuel filter and battery are in relation to one another. They're a little close for my liking, but I think that's where it was in the old one. I don't really remember. I have to look back. But I have cruise control mounted because even though I didn't bother to work on an AC system, I had to have cruise. So that's there. Because when you're getting 35-40 miles to the gallon, you don't want to have your foot on the pedal the whole time. Because, it's already hard work being that awesome, But still working out some kinks. I clearanced the oil pan here. I got it up on these little car ramps I bought for like $2, so bear with me, I might die here, but let me turn my flash on. You can see I clearanced the oil pan here as per recommendations by a fella on the interwebs, and I did not clear it enough because I kind of just said, screw it, this looks good enough, and it is actually contacting this mount here for the differential, which is not bueno. But I think it's probably gonna fucking destroy the structural integrity of this thing. But I think I could probably come in with like a die grinder or something and just nick this corner off. It's not really that big of a deal in my head, but because it's already, there's another mount somewhere. It's mounted over here pretty sturdily. It's mounted into the, I think it'd be okay-ish, right? Right? Sure. I'm probably gonna do it, regardless of whether it's gonna be okay or not. But that's where that is. You'll notice there is no transmission, and I'll show you that later. I have all the clutch and everything in there. It's gonna have to come out, but that's pretty neat. Exhaust is gonna be an issue for sure. I have to figure it out. Since I'm not turboing it right away, I want an exhaust, but it might just honestly come straight down to here. I don't want it to dump because I haven't really finished my. Don't look at that. I haven't really finished my floor patching, but I would like to have somewhat of an exhaust, but it might have to come down through here. You can see. I don't know if you can see the header up there. Maybe that's what's up there. But I'd have to come down through here, and then the transmission will be here. I'd have to come down below, basically follow this cross member, and then snake back up somehow and go the regular route over that way. But not figured that one out yet. Baby steps, baby steps. I'll show you what I did to the transmission. It's not my finest work by any means, but it happened. So what went on was, I haven't gotten it out yet because I haven't taken everything apart. But what happened was, the pilot bearing got all wonky in the end of the crankshaft because it didn't fit right. It's a little loose, tipped over, and in my exhausted, frustrated, frankly pissed off stupor, I thought, well, gee, I'll just ham that sucker on there, and I broke that a little bit. It's not as big of a deal as I thought it was, because it turns out these S10s have this style of bearing in them rather than, a lot of them come with a bearing Like the world-class like Mustang and Camaro transmissions come with a bearing like this on the end of here. It's like pressed on. You have to use a press to get it out. I think I can get away. It's a little janky, but I think I can get away with just tapping that sucker out. I tried it on my spare case. Luckily, I have like 3 transmission cases for these damn things. But you notice, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what mine looks like. But I tried it with this. I've had this entire counter shaft out. You notice I didn't quite get the thrush quite right, and this down there is not quite where it's supposed to be, but because I kind of just slapped it back together. But it is possible for me to get it all out. See, the problem is though, this counter shaft has the wrong number of teeth to match my main shaft here, because diesels had, it came out of a different model year, 2.8 V6 S10. It's the same like first generation ish dash wise, but I think it must have been a little early. I think it was an 82 or 83. Don't quote me on that, because it had a different gear set. But the 2.8s, the same model year, this one with the manual, and the V6 had the same counter shaft. So that's what makes me think this was an older one, because this one came out of an 85. So I think this one was probably an 82, 83. Probably an 83. I don't even know if they made him an 82. I think they did. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at on that. So I get to rebuild one of these again. That's going to be great. But yeah, we're getting there. This is still, it still has no oil in it. It's just kind of, it's not dried by any means, but it's not, I can't run it right now. So luckily I did do an oil change. The last video actually I have on this, where I explain why the diesel was no longer gonna be on the road because it was so rusty, I did that when I did the oil change. So that filter should be good, at least. That's good. I'll turn this flash off. It's kind of useless. But yeah, that's where it sits right now. And it's probably where it's gonna be for a little while, because I'm kind of just working on the weekends, working all week, and yeah, it's fun stuff. But I'd like to get to the point where I can maybe get a new manifold and possibly turbo it right in there, put a little speedy boy right there, but that's going to be a while, because got to get it right first, and then we can worry about that. But yeah, that's where it's at. Stay tuned for more updates. I'm going to try and do some more and try and work on it some more. I got moved into the garage finally. It's been sitting outside and all this crap's been getting rained in, but also, lucky for me, I have to take this bed off because the fuel pickups are completely different. I just went and put my entire main shaft right on top of this. That was smart of me. There we go. Stay. But obviously it's diesel, so it doesn't need a pump inside of the tank. So I have to go and make sure this is in there and not the one that, you know, is in there, because that's still, it's got diesel in it, because I drained that tank, because they're the same size. They're both 20-gallon tanks, which is awesome, because it means I don't have to swap a tank. But it's full of diesel. It has the right filler neck. It just needs the right sending unit, which is something to do. But other than that, fuel system will have been finished for the moment. I'm not entirely happy with it, because it's kind of, if you look down here, it's kind of just Afro-engineered. Can I say that on YouTube? Probably not, but I'm gonna. It's kind of just rigged in there. I don't know which one's which. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I know, like, on here, which one is which. Like, I know which ones these are. But I don't know going in, because it snakes all the way back through here, and it goes up through here, and then it goes down into the frame. And I'd like to use those lines. They're still in the frame. I still have this vent one that used to go to a canister, which I'll probably pull this off because it's pretty much useless. I'm not going to have a vent. I'm just going to have a feed and return. But yeah, that's where that's going. So much fun. Everyone should get diesel S10s. They're just a blast.